Last question, and I want to ask you about a specific policy because I know there's something you're working on right now that our audience is very, very concerned about, which is some kind of a digital currency, which is, it seems almost as right out of a Black Mirror episode or a Left Behind book. All right, social credit scores, the ability, hey, we don't like what you posted, so we're going to kind of shut you off. Electric cars, kind of the kill switches that Biden put in those cars, for example, right? So you're working on this issue. How legitimate is this? Is it a boogeyman? Is this something that we do have to expend some capital on, that if we don't, they will install this? Or is it a trope? You're dealing with the issue right now. How realistic is it?
It's very realistic, and it became a sticking point when the crypto legislation came to Congress, where there are a few of us holding out for the fact that there was an open door to central digital bank currency going forth and becoming law. And so the president has stated that he's absolutely committed to making sure that this doesn't happen. And right now, there's a provision in that what's supposed to be a housing bill in the Senate that they're looking to send over, and this is the perverse way that DC does things. What they're saying is, we're going to push the possible implementation back 5 years. And they'll come to us and say, look, maybe it's not everything you want, but we're putting it back 5 years. But when really what you're doing is sending the alarm to everybody that says in 5 years we'll implement this. And in the meantime, be researching, developing. And it's almost like they went and said, how long will it take to develop this? Oh, it'll probably take 5 years to develop this. Well, we'll just say we won't start it for 5 years until these guys are getting a win. So, this is something that the Federal Reserve's already been working on and developing, even as the president has issued an executive order saying that this should not be happening. But those branches kind of consider themselves outside of that executive order, so they've continued to work on it. So it's important that we get in that legislation a prohibition that says this cannot happen. And you're right, the way it would be used to be a surveillance tool, be able to track and we have to remember, it wasn't that long ago, less than 2 years ago, we had an administration that wanted to know if you had $600 in your bank account, wanted to know what you were doing. If they were working with credit card companies to track certain purchases on certain different type of items so that the federal government would know what you were spending money on. So this is not... if you go back to revolutionary days, this was one of the things that we were concerned with, where, the British soldiers would go into a house and kind of take stock of what was in your house. Now, we just do it digitally now, but this is a core issue. This is something, some legislation comes across our desk and it's like, well, I wanted to save this much and it only saves this much. So possibly, we can... it's not where we wanted it, but it's in the right direction so we can get there. This is one, and as I told the speaker, if this would be allowed to happen and our kids and our grandkids would have to deal with this, there's no amount of good on this side of the ledger that I could ever do in Congress to make the time I spent away from my family and my kids and everything worth it. It's that much of an evil, and so it needs to be stopped.
Well said. Thank you, Congressman. It was a pleasure to get to know you and have you on the show. We'll definitely do it again. All right, keep it up.
God bless you.